Final round coverage of the Kraft Nabisco Championship from Mission Hills Country Club in Rancho Mirage, California. And the last group is at the 9th hole. Let's go to Charlie Reimer.
Well, thank you, Vern. 9th is a par 5 measuring 525 yards. Natalie Gulbus next to play.
Charlie, she drove it in the right-hand rough. 145 yards left of the flag. Going with a 7-iron, trying to take it up high in the air, trying to land it softly. Boy, what a good shot that was.
You can see just how firm and fast these greens are. Next to play, our leader, Lorena Ochoa.
And Charlie, she did drive the ball in the fairway here and has put her second shot in the first cut of rough, has a good lie, but with this pin tucked in the right front and the green's getting firm, I don't know how much spin she'll be able to put on the golf ball here. She's looking fairly relaxed, has had a decent start to the round so far. She's hit only 4 out of 8 fairways though. Sorry, 4 out of 8 greens.
This green at 9 is slightly elevated. It tends to be one of the firmer greens on the golf course anyway.
And Judy, she'll have to be landing this ball on a little bit of a downslope from the front bunker will come into play. 101 yards, just a sand wedge. That's a big mistake here. If you want to make an error, you have to be long.
Jane, we couldn't see if the ball got down in the bunker or it's in the high grass just short of the green. Either way, it's going to be a difficult pitch, and I'm told it is in the grass. Now Michelle Wee.
And Charlie just 90 yards and right at the flat area, this low area underneath the 9th green, and sand wedge for Michelle. She's just going to take it all the way to the hole, maybe just a little bit short. But she can put all kinds of spin on it.
A lot of speed in that golf swing. Right in behind the hole. I think that's the shot she was looking for.
And at the 10th, here's Kari Webb for birdie.
Out in 33. Par is 36, 36, 72 here at Mission Hills.
And Kari Webb, previous champion here, 4 shots back of Lorena Ochoa, who started the day at 9 under. She's picked up 1 stroke and currently has a 2-shot edge over Michelle Wee. Kari Webb in 3rd, and you see the rest of the list. Helen Alfredson at 2 under par. Fudo Redmond and Young Kim complete the 2nd page of the leaderboard. Morgan Pressel at +1. Beth Daniel 2 over. Veronica Zorzi, young woman from Verona, Italy at +3. Now let's go back to the 9th.
And Jane, what's the situation for Lorena Ochoa here?
Charlie, the lie is not too bad. I think she's got a fairly reasonable chance of getting this up and down, not as thick as some areas around the greens here. It's an uphill lie. She has a little downslope where she was wanting to land the golf ball. Just walked up there and had a quick look and size it up. An excellent short game, very good touch around the greens, and I look for this to get close. I think it's a decent lie.
Well, this is a big pitch for Lorena with Michelle Wee within 15, 17 feet of the hole. Possibly we're looking at a 2-shot swing here.
And it came out a little faster than obviously she wanted to, but certainly faster than she thought it was going to.
And it doesn't even look like she got inside of Michelle Wee.
Boy, I don't think anything's more frustrating in professional golf than to chop up a par 5.
Well, especially when you're Lorena Ochoa, a player who makes as many birdies as any other player on tour.
And she is very long. Many par 5s are well within her reach in 2.
And Judy, really a bad mental error there. If you're going to make a mistake, you've got to get yourself on the putting surface on this par 5, even if it is a little beyond the hole.
Yeah, you would have to look for long and left, and what she got out of it was short and right, the exact opposite.
She might have perhaps thought she was going to get a bit of a flyer from that first cut of rough, but she did not.
Natalie Gulbis will be first to putt.
And just barely outside the ball of Ochoa and just slightly to the right, maybe 2 feet to the right of the coin of Ochoa. And so Lorena should get a pretty good read off of Natalie here.
Billy, we see a big crease, a big mark on the green that I know is not affecting putting in any way, but our camera really shows it. And I know they wouldn't have put the hole so near it if it were a problem.
Well, it's not a problem, and I noticed that also, Judy, and I just don't think there's any way they could have avoided it, but it certainly shouldn't affect the putt. Yeah, this was misread all the way. Looks like she played it to go to the right, and it definitely goes left.
Natalie Goldbus with a very hot round yesterday, 4 under par 68, along with Iwan Han. That was the lowest round of the day.
At the 12th hole, this is Annika Sorenstam.
Wait, stop.
Judy, she just never has seemed to get it going this week.
Yeah, she has not played poorly, but she just was not sharp. She didn't give herself as many opportunities as we normally see, and certainly didn't make putts.
Back to the 9th.
And as you said before, Charlie, I think Lorena will have had a great read on that putt from Natalie's. Hopefully she can have gone to school on it. A downhill putt, some 18 feet. And this is a big one. She really needs to make this, Charlie.
Well, Lorena had that unbelievable round on Thursday, the 10 under par 62, 10 birdies, no bogeys. I've got to think, Judy, that goes down as one of the best rounds ever played in the history of major championship golf.
Well, it does for me. I think this is a real test of golf here at Mission Hills. And getting off that fast and playing that well in the first round of a major championship just makes it that much better.
Now with that bogey, Lorena Ochoa drops to 9 under par. Now just 1 ahead of Michelle Wie. Michelle will now have a chance to tie Lorena. Billy, she's seen 2 balls roll on similar lines. I've got to think she knows exactly what this putt's going to do.
Well, Charlie, I would certainly think so. She has, she has a different angle, but she's coming more down the hill. Should be a little straighter than what we saw from the 2 putts from Gulbis and Ochoa. But boy, what an opportunity right here.
Psychologically, going to the 10th tee on the last day of a major, tied for the lead. And I mean, this is a big deal, Billy.
Well, it is. And, you start the day 3 shots behind, and all of a sudden, after 9 holes, you square everything up and everything's riding on the backside. That would be huge.
Michelle Wie now tied with Lorena Ochoa at 9 under par. We'll head around the clubhouse. We're to the 10th tee. Final round of the Kraft Nabisco Championship. Michelle Wie and Lorena Ochoa are tied at the top.
Okay. Is the tennis over? Okay. Second shot at 7. That's at 9, not 8. Okay. All right. And so the battle has been joined in the final round. And before this day is out, someone will take a dive in the pool by 18. Well, that's a nice way to come on the air, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is. I just. I want.
That's a huge mistake.
It is.
That could just have given the tournament away right there.
So you're now going to see if Lorena has learned from other mistakes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
How can they?
Oh,
How
yeah.
can they do that? No.
Let's have Sellers answer that one.
Hey.
I bet.
Vern,
Yes.
you know on the back I've got 11, 13, 15, and 17.
Yes.
You got the rest?
There she is.
And play.
Do what? Yeah. Okay. Tie at the top now, Michelle Wee and Lorena Ochoa. We begin the backside. Here is the tee shot at the 10th.
And just as she's done the first 3 days, Vern, she's going with 3-wood for position off the tee. Not a long hole, but need to find the fairway. Ooh, this is a beauty.
It took off like a straight bullet, Billy.
Yeah, this was low, fast, and hard. Works in most sports.
Good observation.
Now Natalie Gulbis.
Well, and I think a little life has certainly been given to her with that bogey on number 9 by Lorena.
Gulbis now 4 off the lead.
This too a good one.
Annika Sorenstam at the 12th. This is for birdie.
Little swing from right to left.
At last. And now back on the 10th, here is the co-leader, Lorena Ochoa.
And never a more crucial time, Vern, to hit a fairway than now. Wind is picking up just a little bit in the player's face, but overall beautiful conditions for golf. And that's an excellent shot as well.
Split the middle of the fairway did Lorena Ochoa. So all three in the final grouping in good shape here in the final round of the Kraft Nabisco Championship, with Michelle Wie getting into a tie with Ochoa, birdie and bogey at the 9th. See Karen Stupples, Hee-Wan Han at 2 under. And so we've got the co-leaders in good shape at the 10th, and we'll return right after this. Hot drama in the desert in the final round of the year's first major. Michelle Wie, second shot at the 7th. This was moments ago, and at that point, Michelle Wie trailed Lorena Ochoa by 3. But the 16-year-old from Hawaii with a chance to get within 2. Third birdie in the first round of the first 9 for Michelle Wie. And then at the par 5 9th, after Ochoa was short with her third and bogeyed the hole, here is Michelle Wie for a tie. And so the stage is set in the final round of the Kraft Nabisco. Wie and Ochoa tied at the top. Now at the 10th hole, the co-leader Michelle Wie.
Slide a little bit.
Hole high. 3 strokes back at the start of the day, and here's Annika Sorenstam for birdie at the 12th, the defending champion. Judy Rankin.
Putt that moves just a little bit from her right to left. She hasn't seen quite enough of those this week.
And now back to the 10th. Here's Lorena Ochoa. Jane Crafter is with her.
That's from 119 yards, just a big sand wedge for her.
And we go to Charlie Reimer at the 11th.
Well, thank you, Vern. Hottest player on the golf course, Kari Webb. It's her third to the par 5. Kari Webb will have that to get within 2 of the lead.
Michelle Wie and Lorena Ochoa tied at the top. Kari Webb has moved to within 3. Natalie Goulbus in search of her first LPGA victory, alone in 4th, 4 back, followed by Annika Sorenstam. And you see the others at -2. Yuri Fudo and Michelle Redmond at even par, and Beth Daniel at +1.
CBS Sports proudly presents the LPGA Tour from Mission Hills Country Club in Rancho Mirage, California. CBS Sports presents the Kraft Nabisco Championship.
Bathed in the majesty of the Peninsula Peak Range, Mount San Jacinto rising 10,800 feet above the valley floor. Mission Hills Country Club, home to this tournament since 1972, declared a major in 1982. So for the 35th year, we celebrate the LPGA Tour's appearance in the desert. Here's Kari Webb.
This for her 5th birdie of the day. She's now at 7 under par. Birdies at 3, 5, 7, 10, and now 11. At one point it looked like she was not going to be in this championship, but boy, has she turned it around today.
Now back to the 10th. Bill Kratzert is with Michelle Wie.
And Vern, right behind the hole, this is a hard putt to read because you have a little bit of slope coming off that front bunker that fronts the left portion of this green, but I think it's going to go a little left at the beginning and then work its way back to the right at the end. Pretty aggressive.
Overall, how would you quantify her play today, Bill?
I would say it's very keen today. Yesterday, not very keen. I thought she was a little, sluggish yesterday, but today she's pretty much on the mark all the way around.
Well, she opened with birdies at the first and the second. Earlier today, this was the first hole, her second shot. As we said, she started the day 3 back of Lorena Ochoa.
For Michelle Wie, the first is a pretty short par 4, 377 yards on the card.
Birdied that to go to 7 under, and then followed up with her second shot at the par 5 second hole.
Shot from the downslope, probably in the 210-yard range.
2 putts for birdie at the second hole to put her 8 under. Ochoa had opened with a birdie, and this was Ochoa at the second hole. Par 5, her third shot. She made that for birdie and maintained that 2-shot edge until the 6th. Now here is Lorena Ochoa.
And this putt should work a little bit to the right at the end. Not her best effort.
And Jane, how about her play in the front 9?
Well, it's been a little bit up and down. I mean, she's made some silly mistakes, Vern, like number 9. I mean, that was a really bad error to miss the green short there.
At the 12th, here's Kari Webb and Donna Andrews.
Well, she's certainly been driving the ball well today. And here's another one right down the middle.
Very experienced player. She knows what it would mean to post the best score early.
And to the 13th.
And this the third for our defending champion, Annika Sorenstam. Having some difficulty from the high rough on this very difficult par 4. Well played there.
Natalie Gulbis had a wonderful round yesterday. Get herself in position for the championship. This is for birdie. See the large gallery surrounding the 10th hole here at Mission Hills.
Well, certainly has a good idea as to what this putt's going to do, Vern. She just watched the putt of Ochoa, so. And Judy, I think this is very important that she gets 1 or 2 birdies in these first 3 holes on the backside.
Billy, I think there's an urgency for everybody now because you're playing that last 9 holes of the most important tournament to date in this season, and one with so much history that it means a lot to every single player.
And so the final group heads to the 11th hole, and those of you who love drama on a Sunday afternoon, Judy Rankin, Vern Lundquist, good to have you with us. I don't know, Judy, that we could have hoped for more.
No, I don't think so, and certainly Michelle Wie really adds to that story of Sunday in a major championship, because there is a certain kind of anticipation every time she plays in an event, whether it is to try to win a golf tournament, whether it is just to be able to go out and see her play. There is something very special about this golfer.
And there are some special pressures, I would think, on Lorena Ochoa from Guadalajara, who is a heroine of the Mexican population, and she's still looking for her first major.
Well, she is. She's a 3-time winner on the LPGA Tour. She really could be a 6- or 7-time winner on the LPGA Tour. And I know that a lot of people remember this young player from the U.S. Open last year in '05 at Cherry Hills. She was an earlier player in the day. She had a chance standing on the 18th hole to post the lowest score and probably for sure be the U.S. Open champion. She made 8 on the final hole. She really hit an awful tee shot in the water. She's had a history of losing one short and left when she's been under great pressure, but she becomes more experienced every year. She's one of the finest players out here, very long off the tee. You'll see that this afternoon. And I think we're all kind of sitting and waiting what's going to happen with Lorena. Amongst other things, it's really, really hard to be a wire-to-wire winner.
Well, you can see what she has accomplished when she had the lead after 54 holes, a second place last year the win in 04 and then the tie for second in the Michelob Ultra. You told me about 2 hours ago you thought this was potentially a very significant Sunday for the LPGA.
I do. I think, you know, there is this blossoming youth movement in women's golf. Everything has come together today. The last group, Lorena is 24, Natalie Gulbis is 23, and then we have that junior in high school, Michelle Wee, who is 16. And that's one big part of it, but the other big part of it, these people are extraordinary golfers, and as you see people make their way quickly around the back nine this afternoon, you're going to see that.
Judy Rankin, who won this championship, also finished second the first year it was played here to Jane Blaylock.
Trees were about as tall as I was.
And Michelle Wee, the co-leader.
And she is on the tee at the 492-yard par 5 11th. Well, for the week, she has struggled on the par 5s, but playing them much better today, 2 under. That's all she was able to get for the rest of the week. This is a critical tee shot here, Billy.
Well, she has to move it left to right. She clipped the tree yesterday, and she clipped another one today, Charlie.
Well, for a player of her length, she has to move the ball left or right, or she just can't get it in the fairway. See, this hole moves to the right. That very first tree very much in play. Natalie Gulbus next to play.
And Charlie, she can take it just to the kind of the left center, maybe the left side of the fairway, maybe move it just gently from left to right, but yeah, and this is a beauty right here, right down the center.
She's going to have a great angle, might even have a chance to reach this green in 2. Now Lorena Ochoa, who's had some success at the 11th. She's made 2 birdies as opposed to Michelle Wee, who has parred this hole all 3 rounds.
And Charlie, she's been averaging 266 off the tee, so she had, for the good drive, a great opportunity to reach this hole in 2. Not much wind to speak of out here. Important to hit this one in the fairway. And that's down the right-hand side. That should be good.
Well, she's looking anxiously. Landing area is blind to the players. She has no idea where it is. Jane, did that ball catch the fairway?
It's hard for me to tell, Charlie. I'm a little far back right now.
Get back to you on that, folks. This was just a moment ago to 13th. Annika Sorenstam. This was for par. Saw her miss this green to the left, pitch to this point, and that's been the story of the week for Annika. Now Julie Inkster, also in this pairing, is for a rare birdie at the difficult 13th. Well done, Julie Inkster, to 4 under par. That's Julie's 5th birdie of the day.
And at the 12th, second shot for Kari Webb. Donna?
Verdon, she's just 150 yards. Needs to carry it 135 to carry that bunker. Going with an 8-iron, a little out to the right.
In search of her 3rd birdie in succession on the incoming 9, we have a tie at the top. Michelle Wee, Lorena Ochoa at 9 under. Kari Webb is 2 back.
This is second for Natalie Goulbus.
256 yards to the hole, Charlie. 224 will get her on the front. If she can carry it on to the front, I'll certainly release all the way back to the hole.
Live, baby.
Well, this is a great looking line if it just carries on the front edge. When it just pitched into the bank and stopped.
Now she's going to have a clean lie, a pretty decent angle. This was just a moment ago. Green at 11. She on. This was for birdie. And with that, Ann gets to 4 under par, within 5 of our leaders. Lorena Ochoa, whose ball did find the rough, this her second.
Well, Charlie, this ball's sitting well down into this very dense rough. All she can do is hit a sand wedge out. And that's well done. That's all she could have done.
We've seen a lot of squirrely shots played from the very high rough just off the edge of the fairways this week. And this was a moment ago, the second for Michelle Wee.
Good shot.
That ball rolls all the way through and stays into the first cut. Well, she's very fortunate that ball didn't roll just a couple more feet.
And at the 12th, here's Kari Webb for birdie.
25 feet, difficult putt to read. Looks like it breaks away from Indio, but tends to hang up.
So the first par on the incoming 9, Kari Webb.
Round of 76 really derailed her yesterday, but she clearly hasn't let it get her down.
Wee and Ochoa began the day 3-shot difference. Annika Sorenstam is joined at 2 under by Brittany Lang and Karen Stupples, along with Hee-Won Han.
Well, very good angle to the flagstick, Charlie, but the problem here is she's left herself with 195 yards. Clean lie in the first cut of rough. But I don't know how much spin she's going to be able to put on the ball. There's just a touch of a trailing breeze.
As we have a look at the youngest players to win a major, our friend Sandra Post at the age of 20 years and 19 days. Sayri Pak, 20 years, 7 months. And then Sayri Pak, again, just a couple months older. Well, Billy, at 195 to the flagstick, she's got to be thinking, fly this maybe 175 is all.
Well, that would be the maximum, Charlie, and that's exactly what she's thinking. Charlie, that's a 6-iron. Well hit, trying to work its way towards the flag. Still looking for a first birdie on this par 5, Charlie. And that's an excellent shot.
I'll get just a little bit better. Very well played there.
You know, this has become one of her strengths. She doesn't let one bad shot on a hole rattle her. She really thinks about every move she makes, and she can really, really come back from a poor shot.
And a moment ago at the 14th, the lovely par 3, Annika Sorenstam. Playing today at 131 yards. Defending champion at this event. And now back to Lorena Ochoa.
And this her third.
Charlie, she has 146 yards, 114 to the front. I think if she lands this about 128, 130, should kick all the way back to the hole. Greens are getting very firm. Must not be long here. There's holes right at the base of a ridge. Just a little grip 9-iron. Good looking swing here.
Well, not the result that she would like with a 9-iron, I can tell you that. Michelle Wee, along with this young lady, Lorena Ochoa, are our leaders. They're both at 9 under par, 2 ahead of Kari Webb. We'll be right back after this.
We welcome you back to Mission Hills, where for so many years this was the Dinah Shore tournament. After Dinah's death in the mid-90s, the statue of that wonderful entertainer created by her husband, George Montgomery, and of course the Kraft Nabisco. The tournament purse is $1,800,000. First place $270,000, second $164,000, and third $119,000.
This was just a moment ago at 11, the third for Natalie Gulbis. Oh, a very nice pitch there. She'll have that for birdie. Now live, Lorena Ochoa Pretty quick putt here coming down some slope for her birdie, Jane.
And indeed, Charlie, and it has a substantial amount of left to right too. Just depends on how hard, obviously, she wants to hit it, how much borrow she's going to take. It goes downhill a little bit and then back uphill. The flag is just sitting at the base of a little ridge that runs around the back of the green. At this putt for birdie.
Speed. Looked like maybe just a little bit of a misread, but really nice effort right there.
You might notice the grip on the putter sports the colors of the Mexican flag.
Earlier at the 14th, this is Annika Sorenstam at the par 3. This for birdie.
Annika placed her ball at the par 3 where you're going to see a lot of players looking. You really don't want to get too aggressive with that whole location today.
Back to the 11th.
Michelle Wie has this for birdie and the lead.
Charlie, pretty similar line to what you just saw from Ochoa. Maybe just slightly different, maybe a little bit more towards the back of the green, but should kind of work its way just slightly to her right.
And this is certainly a makeable putt, Billy.
Oh, yeah, this is only from about maybe 11 feet, Charlie.
2 years ago, Michelle Wie had an eagle putt on this green, and it really looked as though she was going to give herself a chance to win this championship as a 14-year-old. She 3-putted this green. She went on to putt very poorly the rest of that 9 holes, finished 4th. But she has been very close to this championship in the past.
Well, and that was a poor putt there. She remains tied for the lead with Lorena Ochoa. Great gallery here today. Great galleries all week. Now Natalie Gulbis. This for birdie, this to get within 3 of the lead.
And Charlie, this was a nice little pitch shot from right up underneath the green. It was a pretty tight lie, and she took a sand wedge and just kind of scooted it all the way back there. And this to get to 6 under.
Boy, that looked like it just burned that left edge.
While you're watching the final round of the Kraft Nabisco, the first major of the year on the LPGA will return to Mission Hills after this message and a word from your local station. Back at the 12th hole a moment ago, Michelle Wie on the tee. Don't know whether she found the fairway or not.
I think that one nestled down in the rough. There are trees up the right side. We'll have to wait and see if they block her view.
Now Lorena Ochoa.
And Vern, I can't stress enough how important it is out here on this golf course to hit the fairways. This rough is some of the most brutal rough I think I've ever seen.
Oh dear. Jane, she's a foot off into the rough. Now let's take a look at the respective swings of these two, Judy Rankin. These were recorded at the 9th tee yesterday.
Yeah, it's very interesting, the swing speed. They are the same. That's the same speed picture. That is real speed. And they took off at exactly the same time. You could see how much faster Michelle Wie is. This is now slow motion, but exactly the same speed. Lorena longer, a lot more languid tempo, and Michelle Wie has worked to shorten her swing and to create a little bit more arm speed and swing speed, and I would say she's getting there.
Those respective looks at their swings were taken today at the 9th. Well, Michelle Wie, 16 years of age, Her family is building a home here in the desert in Bighorn. Not quite yet complete. Of course, they are from Honolulu. And we go to 13.
Kari Webb taking a look at this birdie effort. And Donna, this is no picnic here.
No, this is certainly just a touch putt. It's going to swing about 3 feet from her left to right. Just wants to feed it down there. If it goes in, that's just an extra bonus.
Kari Webb is the last player to go wire to wire here. That came back in 2000. Ochoa is trying to pull off that feat. She would love to join this group of 5 other players. Palmer, Post, Inkster, Alcott, and of course Kari Webb. We'll move up to the 15th. Annika Sorenstam here, her second. Whole location way in the back right at this par 4. Difficult to take dead aim at this flag, but that's exactly what Annika has done. Good play there.
Annika's won once already this year. She will have 10 different title defenses in the 06 season.
Sanyo and the crew of the Sanyo Lightship is proud to be a part of our coverage of the Kraft Nabisco Championship. Splendid views on a gorgeous Sunday afternoon. Final round of the Kraft Nabisco. Michelle Wie, Lorena Ochoa. Ochoa with a brilliant 62 in the opening round in perfect conditions on Thursday. And from Göteborg, Sweden, Helen Alfredsson.
I'll let you say that.
There's a big debate. Is it Göteborg or Gothenburg? And not her best effort. That was Swedish. I do recognize that.
Don't translate.
I shan't. Michelle Wie, Lorena Ochoa tied at 9 under par, the first major of the season. The Kraft Nabisco being played here for the 35th consecutive year. Kari Webb is currently 2 off the pace. And you see the other scores. Angela Park is low amateur thus far, playing the 16th hole. She's going to turn pro in a week. And a moment ago at the 18th, here is young Mina Lee. Third shot.
Oh, wow. Big start to this season for Mina Lee. She has already won a golf tournament on the LPGA Tour in Hawaii, and that will make for a very happy finish here.
Very nice for Mina Lee. And back at the 12th, here is Natalie Gulbis.
And Vern went back to the bag. All of a sudden, just a little breeze kicked up into her face. 152 yards to the flagstick. And Judy, this plays what, maybe a half a club up the hill?
Yeah, particularly when it's in that back left corner. Player like Natalie with some advantage because she can hit the ball so high.
Well, that's a 7-iron. It needs to get up a little bit. Oh, it's good now.
Well, it didn't get that one good jump, but even though not on the putting surface, it's a birdie opportunity.
She wasn't quite sure where she landed. Natalie in quest of her first championship. And now Michelle Wie. Ooh.
And Vern, you look at these 2 lies, and I know it's hard to believe, but Michelle Wie has drawn the much better lie in this right-hand rough. I mean, in fact, she's had 140 yards to the hole, and with this 8-iron, I think she can put enough jump on it to carry on to the putting surface and get it back to the hole.
Great shot. Run, baby.
Hole cut 25 paces deep in this green.
That's a bit of a bad break there, Judy. That ball just landed dead.
Now you look for the ball to be slightly out of control on the ground coming out of long grass.
Jane, I don't know if I've seen a lie this bad.
No, they're not too impressed with it. Lance Bennett, her caddy, having to get down really low to have a look at it. It's really a bird's nest in there.
Must be most club on.
She has 137 yards back to the hole, but that's pretty much a moot point.
No, I think maybe it's better like to go with a 6 because it will go lower and roll more.
I just think that 8's gonna come out low too because it's not gonna go, you know what I mean? As much loss as you can to cut through that ground. 8's has most you can.
You have a grass in front?
If you can get up there just in front of the green, you know?
With it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean, but I think, I mean, I'm getting there for sure. So if we get a little bit longer clubs, it comes slower and goes more.
Okay.
Let me try to this.
Well, they talk about a 6-iron and an 8-iron. Jane, I'm a fan of loft when the lie is this poor.
Oh, me too, Judy. I just don't think she can get it all the way to the front edge even. I think might be smart to just lay up and just have a little sandwich.
It's not going anywhere. I mean, I think we have a better chance with you just to roll.
As you watch this conversation, let me just make the point. If you have not seen Lorena Ochoa in person, she is a very, very small girl. She is 5'3", or maybe just a fraction above that at best. And for all the ladies in the audience, she wears a size 4.
But it's so much better, like our face open than this.
And she's got great strength.
Yes.
We got 139.
This is an interesting conversation between caddy and player, isn't it?
Lance is new to her this year, and I think he's been very good for her.
She got some help on that back shelf.
They connect.
Kind of a ball round behind it, you know what I mean?
I think it's too close.
He's talking about the bowl behind the flag. I personally wonder if she can even get it to the front of the green. Billy, what do you think?
Well, this is the play that I was actually looking for to make right here, going there with one of those little rescue clubs, one that the hosel is not going to grab. I think she's got a much better chance with this club that she has just taken out of the bag than any other club in the bag.
Sure, because this face is so much open, it has so much behind.
I would agree with that, Billy. I like either that play or like an 8 or 9
I think we
iron.
can take her chances at 50 yards down there.
But what is the worst?
But she's going to have to make some decision shortly because otherwise they're going to get on the clock and be time for slow play.
That it doesn't come out of there. It stays in the rough.
Do you think the light's that bad?
Yeah.
If you talk about what club you're going to get the most out of with a miss
right there,
hit,
you can get that on there.
it is the little hybrid.
Are you comfortable with that? Let's do it.
Well, they have been chatting now for in excess of 3 minutes.
Right? 100%. See?
I prefer the one better.
Okay.
Well, she's going to have to commit to this shot 100%. And in the end, it is the player's decision. He's giving her the best input he can. She is going with that hybrid club.
I think this is the correct play.
It was a nasty lie.
Okay.
Now we go to 13.
Well, that was going on. Kari Webb up at the 13th had this for par. Well done there. Nice 2-putt from up above the hole. And this was also earlier. You might have heard the roar. Julie Inkster had this for birdie. Julie now to 4 under for the championship, 4 under for the round. And a very nice Sunday. Picked up her 31st career win a couple weeks ago in Phoenix. And also on tape, 15th, Annika Sorenstam. This was for birdie. So Annika to 3 under par. Final round of the Kraft Nabisco Championship. Michelle Wee and Lorena Ochoa. They're tied at 9 under par. We'll be right back.
And a tie at the top. Here is Lorena Ochoa. Earlier, her 3rd shot.
Just a little pitch shot. Needs to scoot.
That was a moment ago, and now live, Michelle Wee.
Vern, she is just barely on the front of the green. This putt right at 70 feet. And once it gets over that little ridge where the hole is located in the back, it's going to start working to her right pretty good. That was something I haven't seen all week. There was no movement. I looked around. There were no clicks of the photographer. I just think that maybe she was just not sure what she wanted to do. Well, her pace has been good all week long till this one.
Oh, dear.
I mean, this is... She may not be inside Ochoa. In fact, I will definitely say she's not inside Lorena.
Well, it's such a critical moment, really. An unexpected play. And at 14, the par 3, here's Kari Webb.
Playing 131 yards, going with a 9-iron. Just wants to keep it on the right tier of this green. This is looking good.
Certainly is. Kari Webb 2 back. And at the 16th, the second shot for Annika Sorenstam.
Well, trouble off the tee. I'm not sure what happened to the tee shot, but she left herself a particularly long second and clipped that big tree on the right side.
Natalie Gulbis back at 12. She's 4 back.
Oh, this could be a 2-shot swing. If she happened to make this, Vern, it's going to come out short. Had to be influenced by the putt of Michelle Wee there.
Natalie playing in her 111th LPGA event and still in quest of the first tournament victory. And very much force in this one after that round of 4 under yesterday. Michelle Wee.
And Vern, this is somewhere around the 16, 18 foot range back down the hill. It's going to be moving to her left, but I'm going to be a little curious to see how much pace she puts behind this putt.
My goodness. While we wait, let's go to 14. Here's Kari Webb for birdie. Back to 12.
And Lorena Ochoa's putt for par uphill, some 15 feet. It will break a little bit from left to right. Really didn't get much help from Michelle Wees, as Michelle had so much speed at this point going past the hole. A crucial putt for Lorena at this point. This would be a gift if she could make par and Michelle bogey. Great effort. Not to be. Letting a lot of people back in the golf tournament, these two.
Let's look at that one more time, Judy.
Well, this putt just takes a little bit of turn towards the right, catches that edge, and the greens are fast enough and great enough condition that if you don't get the biggest part of the hole, it's not going in.
The final round of the Kraft Nabisco with Michelle Wee and Lorena Ochoa now only 1 shot in front of Kari Webb with Natalie Gulbis 3 back.
And now we go to the tee at the 13th. Michelle Wee.
Charlie, we've discussed it all week. This is a hard fairway to hit because the players really can't see the right third of the fairway, but with Michelle Wee's length, she can carry the slope that goes to the right, so she should land in the flat portion of the fairway.
Or she can get this in the fairway, she really would put some pressure on Lorena.
Well, it's fading just a little bit, but it looks perfect from here, Charlie.
Billy, it got a very nice hop. That's very long. She'll be able to come in here with a short iron. Very nice tee shot by Michelle. Now Lorena Ochoa.
And Charlie, Lorena and Michelle Wee have been pretty close together off the tee. They're similar distances. Important for Lorena, obviously, to hit this fairway. Not much wind to speak of out here now. She likes to draw the ball a little bit from right to left. And this one high, starting down the right side. I don't know if it's going to catch the fairway.
Well, that catches the heavy rough. These two ladies need to be careful that they don't get into a match play situation. Kari Webb is lurking up behind them. She's at 7 under par. They are both at 8 under. We'll be back after this. At the 15th, this was just a moment ago, the second for Morgan Pressel. Morgan began the day at 1 under par. She's given up 3 strokes. She's currently at 2 over. Morgan finished 19th here last year as an amateur, and we'll have a look at the top amateur finishes by amateurs in this Kraft Nabisco Championship. And Judy, a great history and tradition of amateurs playing good golf here.
There is, and there's one player we could mention. It goes back even a little farther. I think 1988, Caroline Keggy finished 4th here as an amateur. The best amateur in the country have always been exempted and welcome to this tournament.
Now at 13, Natalie Gulbis, her second. She hit a big hook off the tee.
Actually, a little bit of a break here, Charlie, because this is where all the spectators have been. She has 153 yards to the hole, and she can take it right at the flagstick, but the ball well above her feet.
Well, this is one of the firmest greens on the golf course.
Going with a 6-iron. Beautiful shot right towards the center of the green, Charlie.
Boy, that hill in front killed it. What a really nice golf shot there. Now we'll move quickly over to the 15th. Kari Webb drove it perfectly here.
On the upslope, Charlie, just 118, going with a pitching wedge.
And she can attack.
Looked close. I don't know whether it bounced up or not.
Well, Donna, it's in the short fringe. It's not on the green, but it's actually in a good position. She'll be able to have an aggressive run at that birdie putt from there. Well, this has been a nice hole for Kari this week. This was back on Friday. Took a 7-iron right at the flagstick. Pretty nice result there. Kari Webb yesterday through 6 holes actually had it to 7 under par. Then she had a 9-hole stretch that she played in 5 over. So that 9 holes really hurt her yesterday. Now back at 13, Lorena Ochoa.
And Charlie, a much better lie than she had on the previous hole. She's opted for the same club, a little 22-degree rescue club. She has 136 to the flag.
Nice shot.
Oh, it's come out of there very well. Well, it needs to sit down now.
Well, that got very, very hot coming out of that lie. See, it gets into the back rough. Lorena Ochoa at 1 o'clock on Thursday was 10 under par. Now she's at 8 under par. And Judy, we see that a lot. I mean, it's just very difficult to go out and shoot a hot round like she did on Thursday or Friday and then go on to win the championship.
Well, it is. I mean, any kind of wire-to-wire win is difficult, but you really believe somebody shooting 62, that their game is just so sharp. A fan said to me this morning, and this makes good sense, he said, I think she's been cruising for 2 days. She's going to have to go at the hole again.
Now Michelle Wee.
123 yards up the hill. coming across the bunker, just trying to hit a little 9-iron, working in from left to right. And great distance control.
Boy, the little kiss helped her there. That probably got her ball maybe a foot closer to the hole. We'll have another look at that. This is a shot we've seen Michelle Wie play all week, the abbreviated finish, and as Billy mentioned, she's had great distance control. That is right on hole high. Well, Michelle Wie is tied with Lorena Ochoa, but she's in the driver's seat. She's in close to 13th. Lorena Ochoa in trouble.
Wie and Ochoa tied for the lead, and they're at the 13th.
And Ochoa is over this green. And Jane, anything within 6, 8, 10 feet from here would be an awfully good golf shot.
Well, you're exactly right, Charlie. It's about a 100-foot chip. Lia's pretty good back here. You know, she's in an area the grass is not as thick, but it's a very difficult chip to judge the speed. She's got a tier that she has to go down, and it's going to swing from left to right. And pick up speed all the way. I mean, going off the green's a possibility here.
The tendency from players from this part of the green is to come up short.
Well, that's got to speed up. It really came out very fluffy, Charlie. I think a little rescue club would have been the perfect play from back there. Just get it trundling along the ground.
Well, she's going to have a difficult time getting down in 2 from that position. I mean, that's certainly not a putt for par that she can be aggressive with.
Not in any way.
On the tee at 17, Annika Sorenstam. She's coming off a bogey at the 16th. 17th measuring 176 yards today. Plays slightly uphill. It's been a very, very difficult par 3. Well played there. Foot or 2 shorter, and that ball would have rolled back down towards the front of the green. See, Annika struggled with the par 3s this week. 4 over. Now Kari Webb at the 15th. This to tie for the lead.
And Charlie, she's left herself in a perfect position. 15 feet straight up the hill. She can give it a good run. She stood here and watched the leaderboard, so she knows how she stands.
Maybe a little bad thought running through her brain there, Donna. Wisely backing off.
She's been very composed today. She's driven the ball very well. Hit some great iron shots. Her distance control has been superb today.
Good line. Did she hit it? Oh, dead center. Ochoa back at 13 for par.
This 13th is played as the hardest hole on the golf course this week, and difficulty on the green has been a big part of that story. We have seen more 3-putts here, I think, than any place on the golf course.
Well, it's only given up 4 birdies today, Judy.
Most punishing rough on the golf course is off to the right side here.
And again, Ochoa's problem started here off the tee. Move back to 17. Julie Inkster for birdie. Nice effort there. Julie at 4 under par, currently in 5th place by herself. Rounds of 69, 73, and 74 this week. 4 under today. Second best round on the golf course. Kari Webb is better than that today. Back at 13 after the great play from the left rough. Natalie Gulbas has this for birdie.
And Charlie, this putt's going to move to her right and just needs to match the line with the speed. I actually got to the putting green and spent about 40 minutes on the putting green prior to the round today.
Gulbis to 6 under par. She's now within 2 of our leader. Wonderful round yesterday, the 4 under par. Now Annika at 17 for birdie. Good speed. And another edge. Annika, Judy said she'd analyzed and analyzed and analyzed today. She was just going to go out and play. A little bit better result. She's 2 under. Certainly not the week she was looking for. Now back at 13, Michelle Wie is for birdie in the outright lead.
Not much difference from the line we just saw from the putt of Gulbis.
Just never got that started online. Got to think that was a push. She certainly knew the line after seeing Natalie Gulbis's putt.
And Charlie, this is a testing putt here. This is going to test all our mental strength. For Lorena Ochoa, does triathlons, ecothons, marathons, all that to push herself and test her mental toughness. She's going to have to dig deep here now in the last few holes of this major championship.
And Jane, this certainly isn't a gimme.
Not in any way, Charlie. Uphill 4.5, maybe 5 feet. A must make, without any question.
Bogey drops Lorena Ochoa to 7 under par. First time she has not led this golf tournament since Thursday afternoon.
And Charlie, you wonder whether maybe now she might relax a little bit and attack. Sometimes when you play with the lead, that's mentally difficult.
Solid par for Michelle Wie. She is our leader at 8 under par, 1 clear of Kari Webb and Lorena Ochoa.
We're back at Mission Hill. She is 16 years old. She is a junior in high school. And Michelle Wie has the lead in the final round of her first major as a professional.
And Vern, this hole playing 131 yards down the hill. Michelle Wie with a wedge. Oh, this is a huge pull left.
Oh.
Caught the bunker and actually scooted a little to the left, and I couldn't see where it actually ended up.
At the 16th, Kari Webb has missed the fairway. Donna Andrews.
Well, this is one of the few fairways she's missed all week, and even today it's only the second fairway she's missed. Has a very nasty lie. The good thing is it's open in front of the green, so she can take it in low and run it onto the green. Has 131 yards. Looks like she's choking down on a 7-iron, knowing it's going to come out low and running. Came out well, but as soon as it hit that hill, it just killed it.
Lorena Ochoa on the tee at 14.
And this is with a wedge. Wind slightly helping the players. Got distracted by a couple of cameramen there. Backing off and starting a pre-shot routine again.
I tell you, Jane, her first setup, we'll see what this one looks like, but her first setup was considerably left of the flagstick location, not just center of the green, but more left than that.
Well, she might be fortunate that she did back off. This whole location really brings the water into play, Judy. One of the toughest on the green.
15 feet left of the hole would be the mark you're looking at.
And it's going just left of the flag. And well played.
And earlier, this was Natalie Gulbis' tee shot. at the 14th.
3 top 5s for Natalie Gulbis already this year, more than $1 million last year, and 6th on the money list. She has turned into a real player.
And very much a part of the story we are telling on this Sunday afternoon, as she is only 2 back of the leader. Michelle Wie is the leader by 1, but in trouble. She's bunkered at the 14th. Back after this message and a word from your local station. A moment ago at the 14th from the bunker, Michelle Wie.
And Vern, this was from a downhill lie in the bunker.
I don't care who you are or how good you are, you see the water on the other side of that flagstick.
I agree.
We saw Morgan Pressel put it in the water out of that bunker on Friday. Came in even, left 3 over. Here's Kari Webb. To the 14th, Natalie Goulbus.
And didn't take a lot of time looking at this, Vern. I mean, she played in a hurry.
Billy, we have seen multiple putts from that area of the green, and every single player has underread the break to the right.
And I don't understand why, Judy, because you have that slope coming off that ridge, which is going to influence it even more. So I don't know what they're saying, but I would think that it would break a good bit to the right.
Yeah, this one is fairly evident, but everyone has underread it.
Well, Lorena Ochoa is going to have a putt from a very similar line as Natalie Goldberg.
Talking to her dad today, Javier, and he said that after she shot the 62 on Thursday, an estimated 50 family and friends got together in Guadalajara and said, we are headed for the desert of California. So she has a large rooting group here.
And Vern, it's interesting. I spoke to her caddy this morning, and I said, is there a lot of pressure put on her with all her family here? And he said, no, she absolutely loves it. She loves it. She's such a family person. She loves to have her family close. And they wouldn't have come if they would have put pressure on her.
Well,
but talk about pressure now. This is pressure packed. A lot of fun, this shootout now between Ochoa, Webb, and Wie. We can't forget Natalie Goulbus. He's lurking right there behind.
Maybe.
Oh, ever so close. Great effort, but you're going to need more than great efforts at this point. Those putts have to start dropping for Ochoa. With only 4 holes left to play.
Not easy to come on the tour and be a highly competitive person, be a very good player, and yet be totally welcomed by all players. And this young woman is. She is one of the most popular people on the LPGA Tour.
Here's Kari Webb. This is at 16 for par. How much of an advantage, Judy, for Kari Webb in this stretch run, having been there before and having done it?
It's a big advantage, but she is also fighting back from the last few years of not having done it. And she told him in the press room this week, I don't want to just be a player out here. You know, I want to win again. And I'm glad to be here in the press room because I haven't been here for a long time.
Here's Michelle Wie for par.
Coming across the green, pretty level putt from this angle. Certainly not going to break as much from here as we saw from the other 2 putts.
Well, the mistake was from the tee.
And she's given one back at the 14th. So as we take a break, Michelle Wie, Lorena Ochoa, Kari Webb tied at the top in the final round of the Kraft Nabisco Championship.
And now out to the tee at 17, Kari Webb.
Kari's taking her time choosing her club. Looks like she's pulled out the 5-iron, actually wants to land it on that front tier and just let it one hop back to that back tier. You can't fly it to that back tier and expect it to stop.
Well, Donna, there has only been one birdie at the 17th today.
Well, she was fortunate she saw a good shot from her playing partner, put some good thoughts in her head. She's staring it down.
Started this day 7 shots back, and I think she would have thought winning was really a long shot, but she doesn't think that now.
Over to the tee at 15. Lorena Ochoa. Natalie Goulbus has already placed her tee shot in the fairway. Oh my, that looks right.
That is headed right, Charlie. And that is not going to be in good shape.
Heavy rough eucalyptus trees, and it is right amongst them. Not a good play. Another missed fairway for Lorena Ochoa.
At the 18th, here is Julie Inkster, her 3rd shot, 4 under par.
In 1984, she won this championship as a rookie on the tour, and oh, by the way, she just won again 2 weeks ago.
Yes, for all of our talk about youth being served on the LPGA, a very young Julie Inkster in her mid-40s.
Her oldest daughter is Michelle Wee's age.
Thank you for the context. Charlie?
And now Michelle Wee on the tee at 15.
Well, going with the driver, Charlie. Little breeze out of the right. Well, this too going to the right. It's inside the line of Ochoa's.
Ooh, you could just see, it looked like it went straight down in that grass. Michelle Wee and Lorena Ochoa in trouble at the 15th. Kari Webb on the green at the 17th. Final round of the Kraft Nabisco Championship. Welcome back out at the 15th. Michelle Wee with a horrible lie in the right rough.
Charlie, 121 yards, and you spoke of the eucalyptus tree. She's going to have to keep it underneath those for about 20 yards and try to run it up the gap. When she caught the heavy rough, and that's going to stay short. But
ball looked like it came just through the heavy rough, so she should have a clean lie, but it's going to be a very awkward pitch. This was a moment ago. The approach for Natalie Gulbas, still very much in this championship, just a shot back.
Charlie, this was 133 yards up the hill, and this was pretty sporty right here.
I'll say right up underneath the hole. Very nice play. We'll move quickly up to the 17th. Kari Webb, this for birdie in the outright lead. Up and over the ridge. Oh, and a nice effort. Good solid 3 at the very difficult par 3. What a round Kari Webb has put together today. 5 under. Very, very difficult scoring conditions. As we move back to 15, Lorena Ochoa.
And her lie, Charlie, is, on the other hand, not so sporty. Another very thick lie in this rough on the right. He's amongst the eucalyptus trees. She's going to have to keep it very low and try and run it all the way back to the front of the green.
They continue to see quite a bit of dialogue between her and her caddy, Lance Bennett.
You want to be safe now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that.
See,
What do you like about the window? Just left.
I know it's really
She's got her marching orders. Look at the flag.
Now we'll see if she can execute. Certainly can't go anywhere near the flag, Charlie. She'll be happy if she gets this on the green.
It's always difficult to keep the ball low out of the rough. And that ball just looked like it advanced 20 or 30 yards, Jane.
Yeah, exactly right, Charlie. And that was the danger, as you said, trying to keep it low.
At the 18th, Julie Inkster for birdie. back to 15.
Great look from up and behind this green. Sanyo Lightship. And Judy, I don't know, or excuse me, Jane, I don't know that the situation is a whole lot better for Lorena at this point.
Oh, you're exactly right, Charlie. She's still going to be impeded by this eucalyptus tree in front of her. She did not get past all the trees. She can't go at the flag with any lofted club. She could go at the flag with a low club, but you know, she's going to run the risk of going all the way through the back of the green. Her option really should be to go left of that greenside bunker.
She's just got to figure out some way to make a 5 at this point.
Yeah, it just goes to show you, Charlie, right now the emphasis has to be on hitting fairways. You cannot play and make pars and birdies out of this rough.
Judy, at this point, it's got to be a very big challenge for her to keep her emotions in check.
I was just thinking, staying composed and trying to come back from all this. She really is very fortunate to still be tied for the lead with the slips that she has had today.
Well, she has 97 yards, and she said she's just going to aim at the camera stand. Oh, she's hit a great shot. She's just faded it in. That's an amazing shot.
Wonderful play, and sometimes one like that, when you really need it, even though it's not going to produce a birdie, might be just enough to keep you going.
And at the 18th, there's Annika Sorenstam. Finish up her play. Never got into the 60s. 71, 72, 73, and a final round of 2 under par. Michelle Wee, Kari Webb tapped in at 17. Lorena Ochoa in trouble at the 15th. And Natalie Gulbis lurking, just 1 back.
At the 15th, Lorena Ochoa, this for par, this to remain tied for the lead.
And Charlie, if she ever needed a big par putt, now's the time. 25 feet. And a break from her right to left. Oh, hit that way too hard. Did not break as much as she thought either.
Yeah, just way too much speed. And this was earlier, 3rd for Michelle Wee, a critical pitch.
And Charlie, this was a good one. She had to come really close to that right-hand side in that bunker.
Very well judged. That gets a good 12 or 15 feet past.
And on the tee, Kari Webb.
Well, the tee's way up here today, Vern. It makes it an easier driving hole. But that one has caught the left rough.
Yeah, we can see it, Don, but just barely. Here's a look at the 18th, Judy.
Well, 2 different tee boxes are used during the tournament, but this is the forward tee box, 485 yards. The idea is to entice players to go for this green in 2. They can drive it just carry it just past that 240 mark there that you see. If you lay up, it's all the same things that you're used to, but if you get a chance to go at this green, you would want to take it some 20 feet left of the flagstick. The green will feed the ball back to the right today towards that hole location.
At 15, after a perfect tee shot and a great approach, Natalie Gulbus for birdie and a share of the lead. Dead center. What a great birdie at this very, very difficult par 5 hole. She is now one of our co-leaders. Another look. Well, Judy, she certainly wasn't overjoyed. She looks very focused to me.
Yeah, I think she is going about business here.
You know, it's time for Natalie Goldberg to win. She's paid her dues.
It is. You're right. And, you know, she is a very, very hard worker, and her game is proving it.
Now Michelle Wee for par.
Pretty much the same line, Charlie, just a little bit shorter putt.
What a clutch putt, a clutch up and down from Michelle Wee. She remains at 7 under par. Wow, great save from the right rough, the errant tee shot, no problem. Another look at her reaction. Also a lady, Judy, that is very focused.
She was second in the LPGA Championship last summer. She was third in the Women's British Open late last summer, and she is just creeping up on that first win, and it just might be a big one.
Now Lorena Ochoa, this for bogey. She has to make this to remain within one of the lead.
And Charlie, it's no gimme. It's about 4 feet, 3.5 to 4 feet, and this has been her nemesis, this length. Has a little move with her head back as she strokes the ball, and sometimes the putter face opens and she leaves him to the right. Really needs this one badly.
Well, Jane, you
cannot afford Charlie to get too behind.
Well, you know, there's a lot of bad thoughts going through her head right now. I mean, you just have to put that out and focus on the task ahead of you, and that's making this putt. Bogey drops Lorena Ochoa to 6 under par. She is 1 behind our 3 co-leaders, Kari Webb, Natalie Gulbis, and Lorena Ochoa.
And we'll return to the Kraft and Visco after this message and a word from your local station. And we welcome you back, Judy Rankin, the 1976 champion here at the 18th, along with our group. And here's Natalie Gulbus at the 16th.
She has put in a lot of hours, worked hard on that golf swing with Coach Butch Harmon. Makes her home at the Lake Las Vegas club.
Michelle Wee after that big save at 15.
And just like yesterday, Vern, going with a 3-wood, and this is a beauty.
Well, that is a confident stride off the tee, isn't it?
Great drive.
Oh, she knew immediately. And finally, Lorena Ochoa, 3 over par today. Opened with that round of 62, and it's just a contrast of enormous proportions from Thursday.
Also with a 3-wood, needs to hit a fairway. It's only hit 1 on this back 9 so far.
The 16th, dogleg right. 3-way tie at the top. Michelle Wee, Natalie Goulbus, and Kari Webb. Lorena Ochoa from Guadalajara is 3 over on the day. Julie Inkster in the clubhouse at 4 under. Annika Sorenstam at 2. Helen Alfredson is even par. Brittany Lang. Angela Park, the low amateur, at +2. Michelle Wee.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's just a normal one, don't you? Get it up there and let that wind use it.
Mom and Dad are here. Jerry Rice was in the gallery yesterday. I don't know if he's still around. He was dancing inside the ropes.
I was going to say something about dancing. I was a big fan.
Yeah, he did well.
He did.
135 yards, dead center of the fairway. Little trailing breeze behind her, so Michelle just going with a full pitching wedge.
I think so.
What a beautiful swing. That wasn't that little abbreviated. That was just a nice, full, comfortable pitching wedge, and very nearly went in the hole.
And at 18, here's Kari Webb.
Kari's hit a great shot, great layup out of the rough, left herself 116 yards, which is a perfect pitching wedge for her. We could not hear the roar from Wee. She doesn't know what's going on back there. She didn't even look at the scoreboard back on 17.
Kari Webb has not been the leading money winner since back in the year 2000.
you do? Gulbis just hit. I think, Michelle, we heard the roar.
I can promise you, Vern, we heard the roar. I heard it.
Gulbis walks away. Kari Webb, who on Friday holed out for eagle at the 15th. And an improbable shot.
She has been through some dark times with her golf game, and I want to tell you that is some kind of shot to happen when she's already playing very well and it looks like it is on the line.
Oh my goodness. Look again.
Be right.
I think it was right.
Wow. 05 is the only time she did not win a golf tournament as a professional on the LPGA Tour. Wonderful comeback.
Now Ochoa, and we go back to 16.
It's from 123 yards, just a pitching wedge downwind.
Kari Webb, 9 under par, with an eagle at the 72nd hole. A 2-shot edge. A moment ago at the 16th, Natalie Gulbus for birdie.
Very fast putt going that direction. See the marker of Michelle Wee. It is all but good.
Kari Webb. Just slightly reminiscent of the Hale Irwin victory lap, isn't it? As Kari Webb bathes in the applause as she comes toward the bridge.
At least for the moment, joy in Queensland, Australia.
Yes. Do not forget now that Michelle Wee has a tap-in birdie at 16 and the par 5 18th to play. Here's Ochoa for birdie. At last.
Good for her.
Something has gone right. In a very difficult afternoon, here's Kari Webb retrieving the ball. Somebody caught it. Eagle at the 72nd. Now Michelle Wee. She's one back with 2 to play. In quest of her first victory on the LPGA Tour, obviously her first major. But take a look at this. Here is a moment ago, this is Michelle Wee's second shot. Followed ever so closely by Kari Webb's third shot.
Be right.
I guess if you're a caddy and you say be right twice, it'll drop in.
Mike had that one figured.
Be right.
That's joy. That's great stuff. And so she's in the clubhouse. But this tournament is not over. Kari Webb with an eagle at the 72nd now has a 1-shot lead over Michelle Wee.
Michelle Wee on the tee at 17, 1 behind Kari Webb.
Charlie, 176 yards. This whole location about 5 paces over that ledge. Michelle Wee with a 6-iron.
It's only given up 2 birdies today.
Well, I would think it's a hard hole location to get close to. Well, she started it left, it's staying left, and that should be a fairly quick putt down that hill.
First player to make a hole-in-one on this par 3 17th will take home a 2006 Toyota RAV4. Choose any direction as long as it's moving forward. And there's only 2 chances left to drive home in that Toyota RAV4. Lorena Ochoa now, Jane, she's got to take dead aim at this flag.
Absolutely. I think ideally if she starts at a little bit left of the flag, there's some slope that should take it to the right. Just a little bit of wind out of the right. This is a 5-iron. And this is going about 20 feet left of the flag, just kind of hanging there. Got to sit down. That's well played.
That is a great shot under the circumstances.
Well, she's really been hanging on since Thursday afternoon. Now she's in a position where she has to be aggressive. Now Natalie Gulbus.
Charlie, you can see she's squeezing all the way over to the left side of the tee, trying to get a little bit better angle at this flag stick, also with a 5-iron.
Started out to the right, drawing it back in. Boy, what a go shot! What a great play by Natalie Gulbis. One of the better shots we've seen at the 17th today. Kari Webb is the leader in the clubhouse. She's at 9 under par. 3 ladies have a chance to catch her. Michelle Wee at 8 under. Lorena Ochoa and Natalie Gulbis at 7. When we come back, we'll talk with Kari Webb. At the 17th, Michelle Wee has this very difficult putt for birdie to tie for the lead.
And Charlie, I would say that difficult might be understating this. Just has to start out there. She has to feed it well left of the hole and just kind of let it ooze its way down the hill.
Certainly speed is critical here.
Not bad, not bad.
And she's going to catch Kari Webb. She's going to have to do it at the 18th. After the unbelievable third at the 18th, Kari Webb put up a 65. These 3 young ladies are chasing that number. And for Natalie Goulbus and Lorena Ochoa, if they're going to catch her, it's going to have to start to happen here.
Oh, exactly right, Charlie. This is an absolute must-have. Going a little bit downhill. I had a look from behind. A little hard to read this part. It looks like it might want to go a little bit left to right. But Indio is to her left. That's what makes Mission Hill so tricky. Tough greens to read. Ochoa for birdie. Must make.
Just never moved. Straight as an arrow.
They're lacking a little speed too, Charlie. Just didn't have enough Wheaties on it. And a disappointing par for Ochoa.
Well, Lorena Ochoa will need magic at the 18th to catch Kari Webb. She's now 2 behind.
The Sanyo Lightship, flown by pilot Alan Judd, is proud to provide you with these spectacular aerial views of today's Craft Nabisco Championship. Perfect day.
Now Natalie Gulbis, she needs this to get within one of the lead.
Well, Charlie, you couldn't have walked up here and placed it in a better spot on the green, underneath the hole, putting back up the hill.
Now she's been rock solid both yesterday and today. And it continues. Natalie Goldbas to 8 under par.
Charlie, she is playing like such a cool customer.
Playing with a lot of confidence. And Judy, we talked about it. She's paid her dues. Won over $1 million last year. Still looking for that first win. Just a little tap in for Michelle.
Well, keep your anticipation high, because all three of these players, if they hit the right tee shot, could go at that green at 18.
What a week it has been for Kari Webb. On Friday afternoon, she was playing the 15th. Her second shot, middle of the fairway.
That was a 7-iron up the hill.
And that was for eagle. She followed Friday's round, however, with a 76 on Saturday, but then today, this splendid finishing shot.
Be right.
It was right. And Kari Webb is with Donna Andrews.
Kari, you just watched the shot again. What were you thinking standing over that shot?
Well, it was a perfect number. Just 116 with a little breeze in my face was just a perfect grip wedge, and I hit it straight at the pin. I knew I needed to make birdie, and when it was in the air, I'm like, just get close, and it went in. And I tell you what, I think I nearly had a heart attack when it went in. My heart was pounding out of my chest.
I think some of the rest of us did too. Great round today, 5 birdies in the eagle. You have to feel great about the way you played today.
Yeah, I really made some good putts on the front 9, and then hung tough on the back. I had plenty of chances, and glad I didn't have to make a putt on the last, just put it in the hole.
Well, I know you want to get to the range, but great playing and good luck.
All right, thanks.
Hey, Kari!
All right, thank you, Donna. Kari Webb with a 1-shot edge now, a 65 in the final round. That is not the low round to win here. Sally Little and Nancy Lopez both posted 64s in their respective victories here. Gosh, she did. And Judy, you said you haven't seen her show quite that much emotion in a long time.
Well, I think everybody who's ever watched her would say that she is not one to let you know a whole lot about how she feels, but I do know that she has felt down for some long time because her game has had hit a rough spot, but hard work pays off. She's extremely talented, and here she is now.
And here we are on the 18th hole. Michelle Wie, Natalie Gulbis need birdie to tie and force a playoff. And again today in this 35th annual celebration of this championship. Large and appreciative galleries. Here's Natalie Gulbis. Neither Gulbis nor Wie has birdied the 18th this week.
Natalie's long enough to get there in 2, but it is marginal with Natalie. She would really have to catch a hard spot.
You guys made a good point. I think this is the one, this is the player that's kept her emotions in check. She's kind of been, she's kept everything together. 3 birdies on this backside.
Shot.
Well, this is a beauty right here, Judy. Right down the center.
Driver with just 7.5 degrees aloft, and she rockets it high in the air.
Wonder what the swing speed will be on this one. Think this might be a little fast, Vern?
I think it'll be a little quicker than what we've seen. 16-year-old Michelle Wee.
Well, if she just hits it marginally good, Vern, she's going to be able to reach this par 5 in 2.
She's quite capable of getting there with an iron, isn't she, Billy?
Absolutely, Judy. I mean, if she really smokes one, if she gets it down there, I mean, she'll have an iron left. 485 yards.
She unleashed it.
Well, unleashed it down the left-hand side, and if it pitches forward, it is going to be long.
It is very long, and it is beautiful.
That was large. Oh, goodness. You know, she's been a part of golf now for so many years, you tend to forget that she's a junior in high school. And going back to, she's had her homework with her this week, trying to get through F. Scott Fitzgerald's The Great Gatsby. Here's Lorena Ochoa.
Important to hit this fairway. She has a chance to go for it in 2 as well. Needs an eagle to tie.
And she is long.
And that is hit well too, Judy.
Well, we've got a pretty decent stage set for you here on Sunday afternoon. Michelle Wee, Natalie Gulbis striding down the fairway. They both trail Kari Webb by 1. Lorena Ochoa is only 2 off the pace. We are in the final round of the Kraft Nabisco Championship. Just a moment ago, Natalie Goulbus at the 18th. Second shot.
You know, feeling the same pressure as everybody else today, but Natalie Gulbis bogey free.
And well played second shot. And Kari Webb in anticipation of a playoff on the range.
You know, and savoring the moment to some degree, though, kind of enjoying getting off by herself.
Well, she began this day 7 shots off the lead held by Lorena Ochoa and just played brilliantly. Quite some distance away, and there you look down at the 18th. Little island green. And there's a threesome on the green. And so we're waiting. Lorena Ochoa, Michelle Wee. Xian Han, this is for par. She's at -1. Eight back. 21-year-old from Incheon, South Korea. Sunhwa Lee also a part of that group, and Helen Alfredson. And now, back in the fairway.
Well, Vern, Lorena Ochoa has 195 to the front left. Hole is on 28 paces, so 223. A little helping wind. I think she's opting for her 5-wood. Toss-up distance-wise between her 3 and her 5, but with this wind and how firm the greens are, she needs to go ahead and be aggressive with this 5-wood.
Well, she arrived at the course this morning with a 3-shot lead. She needs eagle now to force a playoff. She has played well on par 5, 6 under for the week.
And this is going right at the flag. I don't know if it's enough. Oh, what a
great
beautiful
shot. Beautiful shot.
Wow. That's all I have to say.
Wow will do. Very definite eagle possibility for Lorena Ochoa.
And how good it is for her to hit a great shot under great pressure.
Judy, that was a thing of beauty. Takes a lot of guts. And she has plenty.
Okay, like that?
Did you like that? And now, to complete this afternoon,
Right on
can
that
you
line.
top this?
And Michelle Wee, 200 yards to the hole, Vern, and on that right-hand side, that same line that Ochoa just took, it's about 183, will carry onto the putting surface. And I think she's a little pumped up right now because this is a 5-iron.
She needs eagle for the victory, a birdie to force a playoff.
Well, heading towards the center of the green, trying to work a little right. Needs to get down.
Might come, well, it could have come back had it not caught the fringe. Come to rest.
It's getting better, Judy, isn't it?
I think right now she would just like to see it come to rest.
Yes.
This is all fairway grass, and the ball could get away from you and find the water.
Okay?
I heard Michelle Wee say, "Am I okay?"
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, that scared me for a second.
Lorena Ochoa said, "Bueno." Kari Webb said, "Good on you, mate." Just a moment ago, Natalie Gulbis' third shot at the par 5-18.
Damn.
Well done. She needs birdie to tie Kari Webb.
And I want to tell you, that is not a real hard putt. It is a putt that it's easy to get it to the hole. It's the fast direction. Turns just to her left and very makeable.
And a moment ago as well, Michelle Wee leads the final group, followed by Lorena Ochoa and Natalie Goulbus at a standing ovation for these three marvelous athletes. How perfect. The statue of Dinah Shore holds sway over the galleries here. Now, Michelle Wee needs birdie to force a playoff with Kari Webb.
And Judy opting to pitch this ball. This ball is going to move a pretty good bit to her left right off the get-go.
Interesting choice, but you have to go with what you feel the most confident about.
I'd have had the putter out of the bag so fast it made your head swim.
Oh, dear.
And Judy, you're right. I question the selection of club there. I think she could have easily gotten the putter within 3 feet of the hole.
Well, and that's usually the way you make that decision is if I hit just a okay shot, which club is going to leave me the shortest putt? And usually the putter will, but still I say every player has to go with what they believe in.
And so Michelle Wee will give way to Natalie Goulbus. Goulbus needs this to force the tie with Kari Webb.
And as you said, Judy, from behind the hole, certainly doesn't have to worry about the speed, about getting the ball to the hole. Maybe a little left in this putt.
Should die just a little to her left if it doesn't pick up too much speed. She is very decisive and wastes no time.
She'll finish one back, and she must wait yet again for her first championship. One gone. Kari Webb, with an eagle at the last, is 9 under. Lorena Ochoa needs the putt for eagle and tie. Michelle Wee needs the putt for birdie and tie.
And Vern, I can't help but think that Michelle Wie kind of walking around the hole, taking her time, just trying to compose herself at this point.
Any break here, Billy?
Well, there's a minimal amount of break. But, you know, you have that ridge that just from that right-hand side, you know, it could straighten this putt out.
Was a wonderful effort.
2 are gone, 1 left. And that one is from Guadalajara. That one is from Queensland, Australia. Michelle Wie will have to wait for her next appearance. Ties Natalie Gulbis for second, 1 back. For the final round of 70.
Oh, Judy, I don't know about you, but my heart is pounding.
Well, they have come from different parts of the world to meet here in Mission Hills. Lorena Ochoa.
Oh, Vern, this putt will break from left to right. It's just a matter of how firm she wants to be with it. And at this point, she's got to be aggressive. I mean, there is no point lagging this putt. And the caddy Lance said to me, boy, she's got to make it hard on herself, giving me grey hairs. And what a superb golf shot in here to give her this chance for eagle.
When she was 7 years old, she won the World Juniors in San Diego. That was the 10 and under group. She is a superstar in Mexico. She's after her first major championship on the LPGA Tour, and she needs this to have a chance. If she makes it, we have a playoff. We have a playoff.
Whether she wins or loses this playoff, I think this 3 was a defining moment in her career. She can withstand the pressure. She can come back from bad holes, bad moments, and I think this is going to change Lorena forever.
And finally, Natalie Gulbis needs this for her share of second place. Actually third, I guess, because we've got 2 at the top. This will be her 4th top 5 finish of the year. What a great start. She's still looking for the first title.
Can't be too far away.
Now, you said you've really been impressed with the way she played today.
I'm impressed with the way she conducted herself and handled pressure, and she's just becoming a very complete player.
For all that went wrong for Lorena Ochoa today, she was splendid at the finish.
Wow.
And for Michelle Wie at 16, there'll be a few more opportunities. And for Kari Webb, a brilliant 3rd shot for eagle at the final hole. Got her in the clubhouse with the round of 65, but then Ochoa with 2 great shots and a 3rd wonderful putt. We have 2 tied at the top. Kari Webb. and Lorena Ochoa. We'll be right back. Well, we have had a wonderful afternoon here at Mission Hills Country Club in Rancho Mirage, and it continues as Kari Webb eagled the 18th hole from 116 yards out to post a 65, and then Lorena Ochoa, for whom not much had gone well all day long, with two brilliant shots to get within eagle territory. Now here's the shot of Kari Webb.
Be right.
That one is from 116 yards, a little grip down pitching wedge.
And then the second shot of Lorena Ochoa.
A laser-like 5-wood.
The putt that forced the playoff. And the sudden death playoff will begin at the 18th hole. We'll rotate 18, 10, 18. We'll begin the playoff after these messages. Well, we've got the Superman cover, little animal cover, and then she needs something special for that 5-wood, I think, after that shot she hit on 18. And here is Kari Webb.
And Lorena Ochoa drew number 1 out of the hat from Jane Reynolds. Our tournament official out here on the LPGA, and advantage to Lorena, I think, if she can put this drive in the fairway and as long as she had before, advantage to her. Just she's got to kind of wind the adrenaline down, I would think, at this point, both of them. Got to just settle down, and there's more work to do.
Well, she begins the playoff hole as she began the first hole. Her father, Javier, came up before she teed off on number 1 4 hours ago, squeezed her hand, and they said a little prayer together.
Good looking drive here. A little bit of wind behind the players.
Nice ball.
Second playoff for Lorena Ochoa. I advise you that CBS News is coming next with Mika Brzezinski in New York. That'll be on the air as soon as this first major of the season is in the history books.
Well, Kari had the chance to go to the range and hit a few. She wasn't pleased with her tee ball here earlier. Needs to get this one in the fairway to have a chance to go for it in 2. Dead center cut.
And so both safe in the fairway. We're in the first hole of the playoff at the 2006 Kraft Nabisco. Kari Webb and Lorena Ochoa. And we'll return with second shots right after this. And we are back live. We'll see whose time is now. Kari Webb, Lorena Ochoa, beg your pardon. And here's Kari Webb.
Well, I think she knows that Lorena is going to go for it, so that puts extra pressure on her to try to make that decision.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's how far down?
She has 207 to the front, 235 back to the pin, and it's obviously more to carry it on that right-hand side. That 207 is to the front left. It would be 217. I mean, yeah, to the front left. 217 to the front right.
Well, that's a right in the middle number. You got to be a little bit nervous about this one.
Well, Judy, in any sense, is Ochoa's length forcing Kari Webb's hand here?
I believe so. I believe that's definitely true. I think if Kari were playing this hole earlier in the day, she would lay up.
Well, she laid up out of the left rough at the end of regulation, and then, of course, hold that wedge shot from 116. But now circumstances are altered.
She has her fairway wood out. They were talking about trying to hit it to the left-hand side where it's a little bit shorter carry.
It's a shorter carry, and the left-hand side of the green will help to feed the golf ball to the right-hand side of the green where the hole is located.
Good solid hit. Going at the palm trees just right of the tent.
Oh, well done. Hold on.
Not an easy birdie from there.
No. Oh, breathtakingly close. That was held up by the rough.
When they first began to use the forward tee here to make for this drama, they shaved the bank, and it was not a lot of fun.
And now the second shot of Lorena Ochoa.
Lorena has 184 to front left, 212 to the flag, and 12 yards closer than she was earlier. Opted for her hybrid metal wood. Here's a little clean off. Lance not doing his job properly.
Which means what, Jane? Is it equivalent to about a 2-iron?
Well, yeah, I would say. But certainly a lot more loft.
2-iron, 3-iron?
Yeah, I would say, Judy. And this is definitely to her advantage. This can come in quite high and soft. A little bit of wind at her back. And this started left of the hole, towards the middle of the green.
Oh, it holds up.
Good shot, though. Really a very good play.
Well, they have had a dialogue throughout the afternoon. And a smile that was absent about 2 hours ago. Kari Webb, terrific final round of 65, culminated in the eagle at the last. Kari Webb, Lorena Ochoa, they finish one shot ahead of Michelle Wee and Natalie Gulbis. And Michelle Wee is with Bill Kratzer.
Well, thank you, Vern. And Michelle, I can't think of anything that you did wrong this week, but you just came up just one shot short.
I know. I mean, it's kind of disappointing that I'm, one shot short, but I felt like I played very solid out there, and I did the best I could. I played my hardest, but, I think Lorena and Kari played very well, and they deserved it.
And I think as we look back at this week, I think maybe the par fives may have been what cost you the championship here because of not making the birdies that we normally see Michelle Wee make on them.
I know. I mean, I just, I didn't really make a lot of birdies on the par fives, and I think that's, what I think I'm going to practice a lot on when I get back home. And I just couldn't really, make birdies on the par fives. And, if I had done this over again, I would try to make birdies.
And the same time you were hitting that great shot at 16, Kari Webb was making the eagle at 18. What was going through your mind at that point?
Well, I had no idea. Like, after I hit my shot, I was like, okay, I'm going to be one shot ahead now. This is awesome. And then Greg tells me, he's like, oh, so I'm going to tell you this because I don't want this to be a shock to you later on, but Kari just holed it. And she's at 900. Like, what? Okay, that's very interesting now. But, I just played the hardest I could.
Well, it's great for ladies golf, and that's a great start for your first major. Congratulations. Vern?
Thanks, Bill.
In case you wondered if she's really 16 years old watching her play golf, now you got to hear her, and she is a great 16-year-old.
I think she's totally awesome, dude. And here's Kari Webb. Now, she's got some challenges here. Lorena Ochoa.
Two shots that will require a great touch, but both shots have the advantage of the slope going to the hole. If you can get the ball going in the right direction, it is not very hard to just get it to feed down to the hole.
Now the best view of the Kraft Nabisco Championship from the inside the Sanyo lightship that's been flying overhead all day, bringing you these wonderful live shots with its eye in the sky camera. Wonderful vistas here, and the golf course itself just terrific. Now Kari Webb.
Well, she's got a decent lie. She walked up, picked a spot where she wants to land at about 2 paces on the green. It'll feed from her left to right. She's been very composed this whole day. I think the time off after that great shot she hit earlier really did her some good.
Boy, the practice stroke really laying the blade wide open.
She was practicing that shot before she teed off today. Blade laid open, just letting it slide right underneath that ball, just like that. She hit her spot that she was looking at just perfectly. What a great touch.
Indeed. Next up, Lorena Ochoa.
Well, it's interesting, Vern. Immediately, as soon as Lorena saw this shot, pulled out the putter and start comparison to Michelle Wie just 15 minutes ago.
Same thought was passing through my head.
Well, I like Kari. She has the benefit of the slope going down towards the hole. It's got to go a little bit towards the left at the end. Always has a habit of just trying to find the line where she needs to put the ball initially to get that slope, taking it to the hole. Speed is obviously key here. There's about 6 feet of fringe to go through, but very closely mown. This for eagle from 40 feet.
And with the putter.
Yeah, a little frisky with that one, Judy.
That direction, that direction, the direction that the valley runs down to Indio, and people who haven't played a lot of golf here laugh a little bit at the Indio references, but if you play a lot of golf here, you pay a little bit of attention.
Indio community at the far eastern part of this collection of communities in the Palm Springs area. We are in Rancho Mirage.
Now, Judy, hopefully she paid attention to the break as it went past the hole. Had a good read on it coming back. Certainly nowhere near as fast now, this putt. And this is from 15 feet. She always throws that marker up after she picks it up from behind the ball, tosses it in the air, catches it. It's like a little lucky superstition she has, Judy.
She was hugely successful junior in Mexico. And 7 Mexican junior titles. She was a standout in her short time at the University of Arizona, set all kinds of records, won 12 of 20 events, and at 1.7 events in a row in college. And she has already made a mark in professional golf.
Well, on the same day she won her first LPGA title, her brother Alejandro climbed the summit at Mount Everest. It is an achieving family.
just under red. Putt has a lot of break from left to right.
She's going to mark. And the Kari Webb putt.
Well, you just saw Kari take a very deep breath when that one went past the hole. She knows she has to compose herself. This is no gimme. She's got about 6 to 7 feet left. We'll break from her left to right, down towards the water and down towards Indio. Very easy not to read enough break in this putt.
She has not won since the 2004 season. She was a remarkable rookie on the LPGA Tour. She was the first player to cross that $1 million mark in a season in 1996 when she was a rookie. And she set a lot of standards on this tour.
Now, this is her first putt on the 18th today. She holed out, of course, from 116 yards. And this is for the title. Kari Webb is the champion. She has won the 2006 Kraft Nabisco title with a brilliant round of 65 in regulation and a birdie in the playoff. Good night, everybody.
Yes, honey.